Hey, good morning, guys. Hope you're doing well today. What I want to talk to you about today in this live stream is I want to talk to you about people that don't have thyroid, and what I do and if it can help. Right? That's really I get a question. I get a lot of questions about people telling me that they've had their thyroid removed and they want to know if what I do can help them. And what I'm going to tell you is it depends. It really depends. Because what you'll see is that where I see people's thyroid breakdown the most, right, their thyroid hormone chemistry, people that I see in my office, these are people that are either autoimmune with Hashimoto's or Graves', or they're taking a thyroid hormone replacement. Now they may not have had their thyroid removed, but where I see it breaking down is really the second half of the production cycle. So the first half of the production is just going to be what's required to get the hormone made at the gland, okay? But once you have the quantity of hormone, once you have the hormone in the bloodstream, then it has to be transported to the cell, or the cells of your body where it's used. It has to be converted in the liver. It has to be converted from T4 to T3 in the intestinal tract. It has to be, it has to be able to be used at the cell. So if there's inflammation, high cortisol, decreased vitamin D and vitamin A, then you're going to have a problem with the sensitivity to it. So there's all these problems that are after the production. That is what I most commonly see. So if someone says, hey, can you help me with my thyroid? I've had my thyroid removed and I feel terrible. Well, maybe. And I say maybe because there's a lot of things. It may not be your thyroid. It may be anemia, it may be blood sugar, it may be adrenal gland function, it may be hormones, it could be autoimmunity, and there could be a lot of different things, but we want to look at the whole picture and figure out what's happening. Now, if you want to look at the thyroid very closely, absolutely we would do that. What we do is I would order a lot of tests on you. Most likely this is what I would do, unless depending on what you provide to me. But I would order testing to see what's happening with the second half of the thyroid physiology. I would look at inflammatory markers to see if there's problems with inflammation can decrease the sensitivity of your body to your thyroid hormone, and all hormones for that matter. So we look for inflammation, we look at anemia, we look at blood sugar, we would look at liver enzyme function, we would look at your overall health, and we would see, do you have digestive problems? Because if you have digestive problems, maybe you don't convert the hormone well. So we would look at the whole second half of the thyroid hormone physiological cycle and see from once you take your oral hormones, right, because you're going to be on a replacement if you had it removed. Once you take it, can you actually convert it properly, transport it where it needs to go? Is it is it breaking down somewhere else? Is there something else that's causing you to have thyroid related symptoms even though you shouldn't, right? And because so what we really do is we just look at the second half of physiology. We just look at the chemistry and see what's happening. And then we look at the rest of the body to make sure that there's not other systems that are breaking down that could be causing decreased thyroid hormone sensitivity, or that could be mimicking and causing your symptoms, and it not really be a thyroid problem. We find that quite a bit, actually. We find that usually no one has one problem. I'm just going to tell you, if you think that you have one problem, you typically don't. You typically have several things that are contributing to the way that you feel. So we want to look at the overall picture, and we want to figure out like what is contributing to your symptoms, to the way that you feel, and then can we come up with a plan to help support it? Do we need testing to give us more information so that we might be able to best determine what's appropriate for you? And I tell people all the time, I offer testing, and testing's fantastic. If you can get testing done, it's fantastic, because what it does is it gives you quantitative information. It gives you numbers to help you make decisions that are more specific. So anyway, that is one of the things that I would tell you, I would do. We just look at you the second half of the thyroid physiology and chemistry, and we consider the other systems of your body and what else could be contributing to the symptoms that you're having. But so yes, we can work with people that have had their thyroid removed. It's something that we do on a regular basis. So if you have questions about that or anything, just post them below. But just remember, if it's the month of September when you're watching this video, 2016, if you have an appointment with me during that month, you're going to get our 6-week Hashimoto's transformation system, which is a dietary and lifestyle based program with a support group. Even if you don't have Hashimoto's, even if you didn't have Hashimoto's, it is a great program to decrease inflammation, balance blood sugar, and support the gut health. It is a great foundational program that I'll use. So just for the cost of a first appointment, you're going to get a $495 program included with that. Okay, we're only doing it for the month of September as a way for me to say thank you, and I really appreciate everything that you guys do, and that you share our videos and you tell your friends. And we've just really we've really seen some great growth and just great feedback from you guys, and I really appreciate everything. I really do truthfully appreciate what you do, and the fact that you come here to listen to me ramble on in the morning. So or whatever, you're watching it later in the day probably. But anyway, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on another stream later at lunchtime. I try to do one at lunch and a sauna session each night. So if you guys have any questions, just post them in the comments below, and we'll do the best we can to get back to you. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks.